Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Opinion Dash. This episode, we're going to be having an awesome interview with Shaky Fingers. You can check that out later on. We'll include a timestamp that links directly to the interview. But for now, we're going to be doing some set review from some VODs from some tournaments that were played over the month. Joining me, as always, is Softy and Finster, if you want to speak up.
I am Finster.
Hey, it's Softy.
Awesome. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump straight into the footage, shall we?
Okay, so our first match today is going to be from Party Python. It was an invitational tournament, right?
Yes, invitational tournament.
Invitational tournament.
Barlow.
Yeah, they're just running a fun little tournament, and we had Rap Baby and KeninBlack. So let's just go ahead and get the match going.
Yep, first tournament that KeninBlack has played in a while, if I remember correctly.
I think he played in Frosty this year.
Oh,
right?
did he? Okay.
Okay. But yeah, so Rap Baby going with his trio. Okay. Flies on in.
Yep.
And
Parasol getting
back off.
Yeah. This matchup is a little bit weird. There's a lot of flying.
Can we talk about El Pinion being a secret DP assist, like right there?
It's so huge.
Well, El Pinion is a pretty dope anti-air.
Can't wait for it to get nerfed.
That was a really good block by Kenin, and then goes for the reversal pillar into Hadron Stone.
How did Kenin already build in the bar?
Yep.
He actually did a combo to Rat Baby, so
Okay.
he got like a bit of a bar there.
Yeah. Also blocking. Blocking builds a decent amount.
Oh, Rat Baby dropped his combo there. Okay, well,
Yeah.
this is some.
JHP doesn't seem like the greatest button against Painwheel. At least against JHP.
You mean JHK?
Or yeah, JHK, sorry. Against Painwheel's JHP.
Well, either way, the matchup's still pretty good in my opinion for Van. So
Pretty solid decision, I think, to tag out there.
I think it's like tagging into a very winning matchup, but then they got hit, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, just air through double out of that reset.
Don't you love when your air throw gets counter hit air thrown?
Yep. And this does a lot of damage.
That's
Reset.
almost. I think that
was a good
safe
peacock
jump,
frame.
though. If Thor was holding back.
Yeah, they might not have held back.
Oh.
Double jumps out of the overhead reset. Has a ton of bar. Gets a combo off this.
Oh, he dropped the combo.
It's okay.
It's hit overhead though, didn't commit though.
Bans the giant wall, have to get it on.
Yep. Extend with Parasol is pretty hard when she lacks a lot of traditional movement options.
Okay. The pickup off that is pretty difficult. So.
Yeah, especially at that range.
Was Peacock just too close?
Oh no! It's like a perfect dead zone in between all of Peacock's projectiles.
This is like a 2 reset game?
I think it's just going to be... Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yep, and this should be it for Big Man, assuming nothing crazy happens.
Oh,
Like that.
something crazy
oh
happened.
no! Something crazy happened.
Commentators curse.
Happens even in VODs. Reversal level 5, also a pretty brave input.
Yeah, that's pretty brave. And that was from the air, too. Like.
Yeah. Goes for a reset. Goes for an
I don't know what Rebe was doing on that incoming idea. Just
I think it was like a dead body setup, but it got messed up.
Okay.
You can see the startup of stand medium kick, and then they went for A train, but it got knee break. So I don't know what happened there.
Okay, we're gonna
It
go
looked
right
like a
ahead.
dead body setup, but
Go right ahead to the second match here.
Yep.
Oh, good round start.
Starting.
And really good air to air, but doesn't get like a full conversion off of it.
So this is gonna snipe.
Switch to the Peacock point.
It didn't actually get sniped, by the way. Lenny actually tanked it, and then Peacock dies.
That sucks. So Peacock did negative work so far.
Yeah, Peacock actively ruined.
Cost of
Rap
bar
Baby.
and died.
Yeah, for a bar, you died.
Good block on the overhead reset. Oh, but then blocked the overhead and the pressure.
Yep. And I really like how like aggressively Kenin is like jumping in and playing.
Yeah, that's what Kenin is like kind of done over the years. Is just played really aggressive para. I think it's usually what he's comfortable with.
I have a ban parry question. If multiple hits.
Whoa, that just lost.
Wow.
I actually don't think I've seen that before.
As I would like to say, directionally agnostic DP. Pretty good.
So can you repeat your question? Softly?
Yeah, so Kenin did like a incoming setup with all the tiers and all that. But like if multiple things hit ban on like the same like one from apart, does ban have to input it like multiple times, or can you parry multiple things with like one?
Depending on the space, on the timing of them, they'll either be multiple parries, or you have like it'll just auto parry, or you will have to do multiple.
Yeah,
things.
I guess I just
for most parasol things, you actually have to do it like multiple times manually.
I'll have to look that up then. So I'm curious what the
like
window
level
is.
3 for parasol and some tight tier setups are auto parry, but in general, they actually are like multiple parries.
Okay.
Yep. Getting to the third match, Rat Baby or Thor, switching to a duo.
I think a duo is a good choice because Peacock was kind of getting blown up.
Yeah. Kenin probably pretty familiar with the matchup, I imagine.
Well, I just meant Lenny was just blowing up.
Well, that too. It's always a blow up, and right now the schmixture is happening.
Yeah, Painwheel is doing all the work, which is, yeah, like, Rat Baby's definitely got like the best
switch
resets.
to Painwheel Brass too. I feel like I never see Rat Baby play Brass, but
I think he likes Brass in the duo.
Definitely has the potential to do work. Really good call.
Oh, it's such
really good alpha counter.
Such a gross alpha counter. Like because Van gets the the HP pickups. It's so gross. Opts to save the bar still makes it happen.
Yeah, I think saving the bar here is actually a pretty decent decision.
No.
You still have quite a bit of work to do to kill both these characters, and you're not in a bad spot. Gets the hard pickup too.
I'm convinced that like autocorrect reversals only like apply to Band. I never get them with any other character, but every big band just gets it.
They do apply for Squiggly. I will confirm that that's a thing.
All right, so game 3 going pretty heavily in Thor's favor.
Yeah, that was a sweep.
Basically, like Thor feels comfortable with this duo.
You got them. Like, they got the momentum, and you ran them over. That's all you really need to do with duo sometimes.
Classically trained.
Okay, that was a big brain.
Was so sick.
Hard call out.
Yeah,
that's such a big brain like round start with Painwheel. Okay, and also that's a big brain reset.
Yeah, this is a blow up.
Doesn't Kenin play Celia Slide?
Yeah.
Yeah, like going for armor on Celia Slide is so scary.
Like what? Yeah. That's just a lose game over spot.
Yeah.
This is going to be a quick game. Also, Rat Baby's doing his trademark corner reset on Painwheel and Peacock.
It's very evil on Painwheel Peacock because it does cross up and stays. It keeps mid screen but crosses up.
Yeah, it keeps the corner, but it is a cross up. It's
and that was just an explosion. It was literally it was almost literally like 20 seconds. Just...
Like the happy birthday and the round start did not help yet.
Explosion.
It's a blow up.
It does feel like sometimes you get hit by the duo. Like I feel like that's just like a FF go next moment. Sometimes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like getting hit with
you can't let it shaky, right? You gotta be able to bounce back for game 5.
Yep. Ken doing a good job of beating out the Painwheel armor with the JHKs. That's
exactly.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool.
Playing much more conservatively this round and using JHK plus assist.
It's actually so good, JHK plus assist.
Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. Yep. I've been preaching against it forever because it beats like all of Mayo's options.
Okay.
Good air throw.
If you jump forward and do it, it like goes over, like crosses up H chair, like arm doesn't hit that high.
Rat Baby going for an interesting
Painwheel. Out by it.
Oh, nice launcher.
Nice. Almost got the conversion too. That looked really hard.
Oh, unfortunate missed it. I think Double was still recovering. So
yeah, Double was locked out. I think.
Oh, okay.
It's a happy birthday.
I don't know why Rat Baby called assist there, but that's going to be his doom.
And Kenna goes for cabinets.
Beat extend muscle memory, maybe? I don't know. I wouldn't call it beat extend there.
Maybe it's beat extend memory, yeah.
Yeah.
Just barely missed the pickup.
Pulls the gun out. Starts shooting it.
Ooh, nice dash out of really heavy punch.
The micro dash craft heavy punch was a really good call out.
Yep.
So Ben was dead there off a tag combo, just so you know. But I think I think Ben dies anyway. Actually.
Yeah, I think Ben might be. Oh wait, I remember this. This is sad.
Wait, what?
Death Roll sucks.
Ice.
Death Roll absolutely
sucks. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
why does this not work?
Ben was dead off a tag combo because you get the tag into Death Crawl into puddle. But they're hard on Band, I think.
Yeah, and Band gets to keep playing the game.
Until he just runs a JMP.
That's a good set.
And then manages to take it back. And a lot of Party Python sets went this way, where it was like, or like a reverse sweep happened or was about to happen, but then they pulled it out in game 5.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was a really good set. Like, Kenin like running away with it kind of in the first 2 games, then Thor, Rat Baby doing really well, and then just like switching to duo, and then game blowing up in that last game. Not really game blown up. It was pretty even up last game. Like, kind of went back and forth.
It could have gone either way.
I just love how like an emotional roller coaster of the set, all within like a 9 minutes of gameplay, 5 games, like 3 blow-ups.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like a Marvel 3 set in terms of like how fast the blow-ups were.
Yeah,
So-
it really is. SG is like the kind of game where you just explode in a matter of 20 seconds, and that just happens.
Right.
So like even leveled or like top level players playing against each other, you will just die. You
Pretty
will
much,
just die.
yeah. Okay, with that, we're going to move on to our second set. We're going to move forward to Renabo-kun, where we had Triviality and SwiftFoxDash, aka TJ, where they played in grand finals.
Yep. This is after Triv had beaten TJ prior in the bracket as well.
Right.
In the winter finals.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to get some nice, epic...
The classic of
Peacock
all fighting
mirror.
game tournaments, the grand finals run back and winners from winners.
And
And also all that combo. Peacock's ridiculous.
And Triv's running the Eliza side team because
I
Spyro's
think he
actually
just likes this team better versus TJ. I don't know why. I haven't seen him really play.
that was
Yep,
Also,
and
that was a
Triv was okay with squiggly blowing up there, I guess. Oh, this is bad.
Yeah.
it's all part of the
like-
plan.
Yep.
This
I
is
feel like
weird.
Lenny is a really big part of this matchup.
It can be. I mean, it's kind of fucked up. The Lenny dynamics are going to be weird. So
I have a question. If one Peacock throws the Lenny down and the other Peacock does her Argus, then the first Peacock Arguses, what happens? Like, I know it's cute not to break until the ownership of the Lenny's Argus, like,
I mean, like if
right?
if the other Peacock is gonna Argus, it's probably gonna just hit the Lenny.
it won't
so,
explode
like,
if the first Peacock Arguses, right? Is that how it works?
like if the Peacock who did the Lenny got hit by the Argus, the first part Argus will hit, but the second part won't.
Okay.
So they'll probably get hit and then recover, and then they'll just do their own Argus right after, and then they'll hit the other Peacock.
Insane.
So, and this matchup is going to be crazy, but the main thing to take away is that it's going to be 2 big things. Is that each player is going to like look to get the zoning dominance, which will be from trying to get either H item drop or an H George to hit each other, because that's going to like hit Peacock above any other projectiles or any other assists. And also they'll be looking to punish each other's teleports, because whoever teleports first is probably going to die if they get caught.
Yep. TJ teleporting smartly there with backup from items.
Like each teleport, they're all thinking like, okay, want to do this safely, because it can either be really big or really bad. So
Yep.
this is really big for TJ because he
Yep.
punished.
Here's the punish on the teleport that we were talking about. Blocks the mix-up though.
TJ messed it up a bit.
Yeah, it was supposed to be same side.
A little early with the hard punch. Oh,
And
the
it's
classic.
first baited, the classic.
Yep.
Uh,
So
This
Don't know.
does not kill.
I guess Victor won the extra damage.
They're in chip range now and have to commit, but they don't get the punish on the tag either. You have to be a little bit faster than that. You can't get the axe punish. It's a little greedy.
Fell with the bomb, going in.
Yep. Hold down the neutral.
What is this Eliza color? Actually, is that?
It's a Shin Megami Tensei color.
Oh, I thought it was like when Trish was in blackface in Marvel 2, or sorry, in DMC 2.
In what?
I thought it was Gloria.
Was that a?
Gloria?
Is that her name, Gloria? Like her
Yeah,
alternate?
that was DMC4.
Was it DMC? Whatever. Is it- oh,
Okay.
okay. Damn. Okay, whatever.
I guess I can see what you're saying, yeah, but no, it's a Shin Megami Tensei
Okay.
color.
It's weep stuff. All right.
Weird
So, yeah.
stuff. Wow, it's 69 hits by the way. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pogfridge.
Oh.
All right, and yeah, Lenny's out. That makes such a huge difference, and like
It will.
Lenny is, I think, actually the best.
TJ tried to go for the reflect on the George, but George was not actually there yet.
Is Lenny the best move in the game?
Yeah, I think Lenny might be the best level 1 of the game, even considering cat heads. I think it's close, honestly.
For neutral, I definitely like Lenny better than cat heads.
Yeah. And this is like almost a checkmate scenario. I don't really think there's much you can do here.
Yeah, TJ had too little life. Like his biggest hope was when he could get that reflect, but he missed it.
Even like
even
reflecting everything perfectly, it's like eventually you're gonna have to block Dragon Bite and then you die.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's the fucked up thing about Bella versus Peacock is that like Bella has to have good reflex on point, but Peacock can still like bury them up. So it's not at all easy for Bella.
Yeah, I mean, Triv's Eliza's been putting in work, even like...
Yeah, I think honestly Triv's not joking with this team. I think he might actually prefer it versus TJ because TJ doesn't do that well versus Eliza. Like Eliza does pretty well versus most of TJ's characters. So
here's my like lukewarm take, but like when you're forced to approach a character, H Spiral hits the exact same like area on the screen as Beam does. You know, like
if you're forced to approach somebody, H Spiral is a gigantic blob on the screen.
It's really hard to get past unless you have like a double jump.
TJ did a good delay M-bang to like catch Triv. He's probably gonna get the pickup off this.
2 knife moves.
Okay, he got his pickup.
Didn't have OTG and still picked up. That's nuts.
Yeah, that doesn't
That's
use
hard.
OTG yet.
That's a hard link.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky. You have to practice it. Yeah. Oop.
Oh, doesn't get the.
Is that gonna catch? Yeah, I catch.
It caught though due to the hit stop. That is also some grossness.
SVO hit stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like this matchup's not the best for Eliza. She has.
Yeah, I really don't think it's that great either, but manages to get in.
She's got tools.
It's pretty okay.
I feel like
Eliza forces Peacock to jump, and then she could just air dash in for free. So
like she has tools to like roll the dice and blow it up. But I don't know if that makes like a decent matchup. It just means like you have some options.
It's pretty comfortable. Like I mean, so I don't know how Triv feels about like Robo versus TJ's team, but I was okay with Eliza versus TJ.
Yeah, Eliza routes are looking okay so far. Doesn't.
Yeah, Triv has a real Eliza. It's pretty. Sometimes it goes for memes, but it's got a lot of basics.
It's like a 3-week old Eliza doing better routes than most Eliza players.
And this is like the disaster scenario when you like get like Lenny is on the field and then you get banged. And,
yeah.
That is the worst case scenario.
Couldn't finish the combo because plane was in the way, but managed to eke out the pressure.
2 Eliza combos have dropped so far because of Peacock's like really tiny hitbox. This is like one of my other primary issues with this character. I don't actually have too much.
Oh, Triv was going for weird though, to be fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Triv could have saved Eliza there, but I think you want to keep the meter for Squiggly.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea. Okay, Triv got a really good falling GLK, which TJ was not prepared for. Every Squiggly is going to come down with GLK.
Oh yeah, it's the God button.
So Triv has both charges now and like a lot of bars, so this is actually pretty scary for TJ.
The Forbidden God cards. The Forbidden God.
Triv just dabbing. Alright.
Pretty good patience on the full screen tremolo. Okay. We're going to go for reset. Okay, low.
For a full Indizzy combo. I'm not sure if I agree with that. I think that you need to really value Indizzy as a resource.
I think Triv just wanted the health lead, so he didn't have to approach again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he lost it because of it.
Oh,
and gets the air thrown baited.
Doesn't kill. It does kill. Never mind.
Yeah, it's gonna kill. It's duo versus trio, so yeah, that'll kill.
And the ritual. The ritual commences.
Yeah, that was much better by TJ. Like,
I know you speak much longer.
I think these sets are just gonna go whichever Peacock does well at the start is probably gonna win.
Yeah. Whoever does the greatest job at whittling down the opposing team.
Just because the Peacock mirror can be very crazy, and like whoever gets like the early advantage is gonna like just dominate for the rest of it. It's gonna be so hard for the other Peacock to like establish control. Okay. Triv gets the early lead from just like TJ's like kind of quick. Okay, but block the weird mix up. Oh,
good.
She's trying to teleport in.
It's a good push block to not have to hold like the Peacock instant overhead stuff, but
yeah,
couldn't get away.
Gets hit by a level 3 item, so that means this character is dead.
Bang, bang, bang.
Getting hit by a level 3 item is redonkulous.
It's a lot of damage, so even on a duo, it's going to be a lot of damage. So yeah, this is going to be like just really tough for TJ.
Yeah, the first character died for 2-bar in a duo. That is a disaster scenario.
And this is like, all these characters are pretty good versus Bella, I think. So.
Yep, into the level 3 item.
Into a good mix-up.
That mix-up was forbidden, for sure.
It's like a one reset game now, right?
No, full on Dizzy is a big deal.
That's an insane burst bait route.
Making a really good decision not
but
to
she
burst
stays out.
it,
She stays out. Oh.
Okay, I remember this moment. So,
that's cursed.
like, anytime you see Peacock level 3 item drop, you have to like
drop
you have to keep in mind when to. You have to combo especially to avoid when it drops.
Yeah.
I think if TJ just went for like early Dynamo, it probably would have either hit Peacock or just at least.
No, you gotta go for the combo video strat and deflect it. That's the key.
I mean, you could go for that, but I would just go for Excelabella into Dynamo.
Dynamo would have. Excelabella might have invuln through it. Dynamo does not have a whole lot of active invuln frames.
No, it doesn't. Or combo level 3.
Yeah, or he could have done like stand medium punch 360.
Yeah, there's several options Bella has to like invul through. Level
or
3.
if you want to be a Giga Ascended, you could do like some reset that pulls you back towards where Peacock's waiting.
Yeah, probably.
Didn't Aeroshire do, in like not the same tournament, but like the week later, whenever Aeroshire did like a route that killed the point, but Peacock was still there dancing, and then
I think that might have been Rat Baby. Everybody, we're back. Sorry, a couple of technical difficulties there at the end, but we're back real quick, and we're going to give you a proper sign-off before we head on over to the interview. Overall, I'd say those two sets were pretty solid. What do you guys think?
I thought they were very enjoyable, pretty solid. If anyone has any requests for a set they want us to like look over, then please send us stuff.
Yeah, for sure. We would love to look at what you guys think is awesome.
I just really like how neither of them were very one-sided, but they were still fast, and like people were popping off and burning their thing without it being like only one person playing, which is always fun to watch.
Yeah, it's definitely good for people to remember that like high level SG can just get blow up games still, you know.
Some bust ass.
All right, and thank you all for checking out the VOD review. We're going to be back in just a minute with an interview with Shaky. Look forward to that. And welcome back, everybody. Today, we are joined by our interview guest, a certain Shaky Fingers of notoriety in the PSN Court and the PSN community. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, my name is Mark, but everybody knows me as Shaky Fingers. You can call me Shaky, Mark, whatever you want to. You can call me Bad.
Can we call you Fingers?
No, Mr. Fingers was my father's name, actually.
I'm trying to work off the fingers parts. That's when I'll become all powerful.
So, quick question: what is there like a real meaning between Shaky Fingers, your tag?
Yeah. So whenever I first started out playing fighting games, way back in, I guess isn't way back. It was 2010. Whenever I was still new, I still sort of cared about my win-loss ratio. You know, those numbers that don't mean anything.
Yeah.
I wanted to start over whenever I finally started getting better at the game at fighting games back with Street Fighter 4. So I made a new account, and I was like, "Oh, what am I going to name this?" Well, I looked at my hands. I was like, "Well, you press buttons with your fingers. Mine are really shaky, so I'm going to call myself Shaky Fingers."
This sounds like a 4 a.m. like thought. You know.
It was 4 a.m. That's also why it's misspelled.
Yeah.
Classic. So that actually kind of segues into our first interview question, which is, what was your first fighting game and how did you get into SG?
Alright, so, technically I started in 2009. I'm an 09er.
Oh shit,
as the term is
09er.
called. Yeah, I got my first computer in 2009. And I saw Street Fighter 4, and I was like, "Oh, this game! I remember Street Fighter. I used to play it on my Super Nintendo."
Yeah.
So I just watched a little bit, and I saw. It's gonna sound silly. I saw jab, 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 low forward Hadouken, and it comboed. I was like, "What?" So I just started. That got me into watching Street Fighter, and then I moved on to other things. I started watching Super Turbo, which is my favorite fighting game ever. I
Oh
started
shit!
watching,
ST
Vampire-
buddies.
Yeah, I
should
started
play
watching
ST
Vampire
sometime.
Savior. Of course, absolutely. I need people to play.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Continue.
started playing Vampire Savior. Love it.
Mhm.
But I wasn't able to get anything really until 2010, which is why I mentioned 2010 earlier.
Yeah.
And so what I first started with was a Blaze Blue Continuum Shift, and that was rough.
Hey,
I was
CS
not good.
buddies.
I was
It sounds
not
like you
good.
don't want to play that game again.
I play Central. I'm getting back into Central Fiction, but
Okay.
Continuum Shift was a mess.
Who'd you play in CS?
I played 3 characters, and those archetypes are still archetypes that I stick to nowadays. I played Lambda 11.
Okay.
I played Tager, which is why I play Robo and Bella. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Zoners and Grapplers. I play them in every game, and I also played Carl.
Oh, okay. Carl's an odd pick in there.
It's just I like technical characters like that. I like puppet characters. I like
Mhm.
characters that have like weird resources. You know, like Robo Fortune.
Okay.
Can
Can I ask who you
like-
played in Street Fighter 4 as well?
I played Jury.
Ooh,
see it,
okay.
yeah.
That makes sense with what you said about technical characters.
Yeah, I played Jury. I also played Zangief. You know,
Okay.
Zoners and Grapplers. Every game you can expect it out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Like Guilty Gear, I play like Testament, Potemkin.
Loners and grapplers. I'm surprised you aren't a Fuqua player then.
Yeah.
I used to play Fuqua. I played Fuqua before I dropped Fuqua before she got changed because I got bored of her.
She was so boring.
She was
Yeah,
really
she was
boring.
very boring. But I only stopped. I only started playing her because I was like, oh, my big man's terrible. My big man sucks. I'm gonna stop playing because I don't think I can make it work. But obviously, I went back to him. I'm trying to get back into playing Fuqua. She's a very fun character when I'm not fighting her.
Yep.
I won't lie, doing softies like new routes and stuff like for Fuqua are very fun to do. Like it made me go from like hating Fuqua to like I would do practice Fuqua combos. I'm like, wow, this character is actually fun when you start getting into it.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm
Character-
doing with her, but I play A-Train, so everything does have health, so it's alright.
Yeah,
So it works out.
the classic. So, speaking of SG, second part of that question was, how did you kind of transition from those early fighting games into playing Skullgirls? What kind of got you into the community?
It started out with just trying to find what I liked, because I grew away from Street Fighter 4 around Arcade Edition. Yun kind of ruined my life.
Fair.
Many people's.
Fair.
I'm getting back into it nowadays, but like Yun kind of like screwed everything up. I started playing like what did I start playing back then? I started getting into like Tekken. Didn't really resonate with Tekken. I got into Virtua Fighter for a while. I love Virtua Fighter. I wanted to come back. Virtua Fighter was my baby. I played Soul Calibur for a bit, and then eventually when Third Strike Online Edition came out, that was the game that I was making. And then I remember seeing the trailers for Skullgirls, and I was like, oh, this game's really cool, I'm going to try it out. And I only really played it in training mode, and that's because of Third Strike. So it's going to sound really funny now, but I thought GGPO sucked. And that was
You're
because-
actually not the first person I've heard that from, specifically about the Third Strike Online stuff.
Yeah, it's because whenever Third Strike Online Edition first came out, the GGPO was implemented horribly.
Yeah,
You
it was
could
weird.
barely see anything. So I didn't really, play the game with anybody. I was just like labbing stuff out, like stuff like that. So like I technically started before Encore.
Mhm.
I found some pretty interesting stuff. Like before Philia could combo off of her throw with the Philia double shell, I found out how to combo off of it meterlessly. It's
What,
still
in
on
vanilla?
Skullheart. It was my back in SDE.
On SDE. How
Yeah.
did she do it without meter?
With them, you had Hornet Bombers. 'Cause, like I was playing Philia Hornet Bomber because
Yeah.
everybody was back in SDE.
Mm-hmm.
If you call Hornet Bomber and then do medium hairball, you get to combo off of it. And that's posted
Okay.
that post is still on Skullheart. It's my first post.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But 2015 came around, like January 2015. I was like, let me try this game. I'm sick of Third Strike Online.
Mhm.
The GGPO was working on it. Like I even played GGPO back before Fightcade was GGPO, and
Mhm.
it was still not very good. But like I love those old games, so I still played them. But 2015 finally came around. I was like, screw it, let me try a new game. And I joined the PSN Skullbats very early January, and now I'm here.
Did you start with Bella and Big Band and Peacock? Because Peacock was on your original team, right?
Yeah, Bella is the only character that's stuck around.
Okay.
My first team was Fortune Painwheel Bella.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually started. It was actually Bella on point, Fortune, Bella on point, Painwheel, Fortune. So it was like the exact opposite order that Toluta plays it. And after that, I was like, I don't really play characters like Fortune. Like the puppet character is cool, but I don't like rushing down. So I picked up Peacock, and I didn't really like Peacock and Painwheel synergy at the time. Now it's a little bit better, but back then I didn't really feel like it had anything really going for it. So I swapped it out for Philia for a while. So I played Peacock, Philia, Bella, and it was great. It was great and fun. But again, Philia, fun, but whenever I'm being serious, I don't want to be anywhere near you unless I'm Bella. So I dropped her, and I picked up Big Band. And then, of course, like I said, I had a falling out with Big Man for a little bit for Fuqua, but for the longest time, I was playing Peacock, Bella, Big Band.
Okay, and then you eventually switched from when you played Peacock, Bella Band with Beat Extend, and now you do Robo Fortune Bella with A-Train instead of Beat Extend. So
I hated Beat Extend the entire time I played it. It is the most dull assist ever.
Yeah, it's just
kind of
like the only time I miss it is whenever I do Dynamo. Any other than that, it's just like I don't want it near me.
In the way.
Yeah, I just tried it out one day because I was like, well, Robo Fortune's a resource character. Let's see what I can do. And I played it for one set and just like fell in love with it. It's the coolest thing ever.
It's like my story with Diamond Drop. I'm like, I played this for like 2 or 3 sets, and I'm like, I adore this assist. It's my new favorite in the game.
Yeah, Diamond Drop is so cool too.
It's a really
I adore A-Train. I put it on every team that I play it on. Except for when I play Fortune, I don't want to play Fortune A-Train. Fortune Brass is ignorant.
So let's talk more about like recent stuff. You've been playing on PC recently, though. If like as we mentioned at the start of the podcast, you primarily played on PSN for like a lot of your early days on. Actually, pretty much mostly up until like this year, right? So
yeah, like I think I started last year, either last year or 2018.
So if you
it was last year. I think it was last year.
Yeah, if you can you like just tell us, for those of us who like are PC, like mainly PC players, like how was like the PSN community? Like how do you guys like keep up? Like it feels like PSN was always kind of like a weird Wild West of like, like it's like the outer lands. Like there's people out there on PSN like playing SG. I thought they were all gone. So
yeah, we were very lucky to have the Skullheart forum. We were very lucky to have the PSN Skullheart forum to get everybody together.
Did you guys like run your own like SBATs and run your own
we ran
events?
Skullbats all the time, every Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Like either every Saturday, and then for a while I think we did it Sunday sometimes, but for the most part it was like every Saturday.
Okay, so you guys were just regularly running your own events and keeping together.
Yeah.
Did you have like a central location even before Discord, or did you guys make a Discord like immediately?
We used Skype at first, and then
old Skype groups.
Yeah, old Skype group, and then we
The
had
classic.
yeah, I don't miss it. I sometimes miss it because Discord isn't the hottest thing ever either, but I don't miss Skype too much. But we all used Skype for a while until some friends forced us to move over to Discord by leaving and saying like, "Hey, we're not going to be here unless you move." So I guess we'll move.
Okay, like, do you think the PSN community has like always been like friendly and welcoming?
Oh yeah, we've all been just really cool with each other, just really chilled out.
Like the first time I saw the PSN community, it felt like it was just when I met like Adivase, you, and PME. I believe at like CB 2016.
I'm sorry, but I laugh every time people call him like Adivase or Adivase. It's a Divas.
Okay, sorry. Like I think he knows.
It's so funny because he hates it and I make fun of him.
It's funny because I always like try to remember to like correct it and I just always forget. And
oh yeah, just keep doing it. He hates it.
I don't know why. Like it just when I see it, it just is Adivase.
Oh. And sorry, brief intermission there, but we're back, and we were talking about Adivas, otherwise known as Adivase by Fenster.
Adivase, a Davis.
A Davis. A Davis.
Adivas.
A singular Davis.
Adivase.
As far as I know, like he prefers Adivas, and I've always like messed it up for Adivase, and I've always apologized.
It's so funny to me.
Like I legit like just actually forget, and like my mind is always gonna auto pronounce it.
It's a weird name.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was a Davis when I first met him, but I didn't. Like I heard somebody else say, I was like, okay, I was wrong.
But yeah, my story is that like I initially met just like you three guys, and I didn't know too many of the other people.
A lot more than three of us.
yeah. So like you guys had like Wing It and like I think Osu is like another name.
Yeah, Wing It and Osu came a lot later. Wing It came at the later life of the Skype group, and Osu's been around for like 2 or 3 years now, I think.
Oh, okay.
But for the longest time, whenever we were starting out, it was just Hadivas, PME. I came around. Omen was around. Tuzi, Knight, Derek. Everybody knows him as Snurd, I think.
I do know Snurd. I've seen his name a lot in like Twitch streams and stuff.
So. Yeah, he's around.
Yeah. So like it sounds like you guys just had like a consistent community all throughout, and you guys just kind of like played against each other.
Yeah, we've had some people that have come and go. Like a lot of people that have come and go. I don't know how many times people have come to me like, hey, wow, I almost said Mark. Nobody's called me Mark. Hey, Shaky, like, can you teach me Bella? Everybody wants to learn Bella whenever they're when they ask me stuff back in the Skype days, and I would go on for. Looking back, it was a bad idea. I would go on for hours, just typing out what I could come up with. It'd be like paragraphs, it'd be pages. Why am I like looking back? It's like you freaking idiot.
I could have had a PhD by now.
Just tell them to hit me.
Scared everybody off. Like you probably scared everybody off. Like stop being a writer for 1 second.
You make Bella look like she's an amazing technical like thinking character, and then they go and play and just do Battle Butt over and over.
I will JHP 4 times.
You can be really smart with that character, but you can also be really stupid.
That's the makings of a good fighting game character, though. You know?
Yeah, that's why she's top 5.
So do you think that the like rapport in the PSN community, like, so it's been like okay? Do you think it's like been more active lately?
Oh yeah, it's a lot more active. We're getting a lot more people. Like we've got like Little Dude who went to Salty a few weeks or a few months.
Oh, is he from PSN?
Yeah, he's from PSN. Like,
oh, we've been playing I actually never put together.
Yeah, I remember whenever he was a solo parasol who would shoot 1 tier and then run in and ignore neutral for the rest of it, and then he went on to zone way too much. He's like, dude, you need to go in sometimes. And then now he's just good.
Yeah. Like,
now he's good.
Like I see him in Salty streams, and I see the name in like the PSN brackets and stuff. I never like put together it's the same person, but yeah, I recognize him now.
Yeah, he's new. He's been like sticking around. JC's new. He's been sticking around. Tossle showed up.
Yeah, I've seen Tossle around.
Sticking around.
Yeah.
A few other people that are around, like Bacon. Faulty.
Definitely, like the recent PSN bats that you guys have been doing in 2020 have been popping off a lot more.
Yeah, I think like one part of that helps that like we're doing it bi-weekly now. More often, CEO is. Like this is technically not skull bats, but it's skull bats.
Yeah.
I think the hiatus definitely helped. I think people were getting burnt out.
There was a long hiatus of like PSN stuff, but like, and now you guys came back, and even before the COVID stuff, I think you guys were still getting like really nice numbers.
Yeah, we were getting like 18 people sometimes, 15 people, 16.
Yeah.
Like a lot decent than whenever we were doing every other week, and sometimes it would have to be a round robin.
Right.
But yeah, like the I think the hiatus for a while helped. I think it being bi-weekly helps so people don't get burnt out. And also, I think it's just, thanks to the resurgence in popularity that Skullgirls is getting nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
People are getting interested to play the game now. It's like, oh, great, more people.
Yeah.
So then, actually very related to what we were just saying, like, since the PSN community is not, like, it's not as large as a Steam community or whatever, but do you feel like the size affects like variety of teams and characters you get to play against? Like, does it change how your general practice goes? Since now that you've played them both now, do you feel like there's a bit of a difference?
No, not really. We see a lot of different characters on PSN. We have a few Fuqua players. We have a few. I'd probably run into the most Eliza players on PSN.
All the Eliza
players on PSN.
Yeah.
There's less Beowulf. There's less like, I've definitely run into less meta teams. There's a lot less big bands and Beowulf, or big bands and Bellas and doubles.
That sounds like heaven.
Are there more?
Squiggly's pretty popular.
Are there more or less like Wi-Fi solo bands?
Yeah,
That's the real question.
Like, because I can think of like 3 solo bands off the top of my head, and
I can't think of any like solo band that's in PS.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Like maybe randoms that show up on Quick Match every now and then, but Quick Match isn't really a thing on PSN.
I gotta pay for P Plus on my roommate's PS4 and just get rid of Steam.
Yeah, it's time to get PS Plus now.
Yeah, time to get PSN and duck all the Bayo band players, huh?
Yeah, basically, and the solo bands. Yeah.
Yeah, someone was asking me for a set the other day in PSN Court, and I'm like, yeah, I got you. And then I like got SG on PS4, and I'm like, wait, any PS Plus? Oh, never mind. Sorry.
I bet that was DRC's always fiending.
Yeah.
He's also somebody who's been sticking around since Skype days. He used to be the dive kick fit the Squiggly monster.
Dive kick Squiggly monster.
Yeah, he would not get off of your forehead if he was near you. Like, if you got anywhere near him, dive kick.
Well, let me see that dome.
Like, I'm a young player.
You started getting flashbacks to Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, I played dive kick, dude. I'm a Jabali man.
Oh, look. See, that's how we know you don't play dive kick, because it's Jafali.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Man. I don't want to play dive kick.
Come on, man. Alright, so follow up on the previous question about the community being limited in numbers and getting a little bit less variety on the meta teams. How does this affect you when you practice for tournaments on PC or at a major where you get to see more of those meta teams?
It doesn't. I don't really feel much of a difference. Like, there's definitely the skill gap. Like the Steam community, I definitely would say, much more variety in skill levels. Like, we have our really strong players on PSN, but a lot of the time, you're still learning, still getting there. So most of the time, it was just I watch a lot.
You watch a lot.
I used to watch a lot of games, like back whenever I was only on PSN. I would study the heck out of better players. Like, whenever I played Peacock, I would study everything that TJ, Peck were doing against people. So that's how I would, not die to Valentine bypassing from school full screen, because we don't really have Valentine players.
Is this all in the days before Tune with Bacon as well?
Yeah, this was way before Tune with Bacon. I'm talking about like 2015.
Yeah, like so.
Like, I went to Combo Breaker 5 months into playing the game.
I didn't realize you were 5 months in.
Yeah, I was 5 months in. I did really well. Just considering.
Yeah, you did. You were really.
Like, I went 2-2 in the tournament, but like.
You found Big Band tech that like legit. I've seen like people who played Big Band for like years do not do, and I was like, man. It's just surprising. So yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I was 5 months in all the way back then, and I didn't do too well in the tournament. But wow, I did really well in casuals.
No, I think you did fine and impressed a lot of people. And
see, tournament results don't matter because I go 1 and 2 and I get killed by Liam like round 2, and then Adivas is sent to losers by Ben, and then I have him first round in losers, and like, oh, this is fun.
I also had to play Liam in the bracket.
Yep. It's like,
I almost beat Liam too.
Exactly. I went to the last hit too. It's like,
Everyone's gonna share their "I almost beat Liam" story now.
I'm really good at that. I'm really good at either going 2-up and then winning and then losing, or bringing it back from being 2-0 and then losing. You can see that one whenever you watch me against CD at Rusty Palestine.
Yeah.
I'm still not upset about
that. So.
I think at CB 2016 you also had like some loss like that.
I lost to I went 3-1 against Lazy, and I went and I got completely creamed by Toluda. But I beat Lazy and losers. So
for some reason, I think I saw the Toluda and I thought that you did relatively fine. But I guess you're gonna say you got creamed.
So. I did. It was 2018. CB 2018. I went 3-2 against Toluda.
Okay.
Like, he beat me, but it was very close.
I think that's probably the one I was thinking of, yeah.
Yeah, that was when I was playing Robo by now.
Mm-hmm.
So, 2 years now I've been playing Robo, wow.
Robo Fortune.
Love this game, it's so good.
So, I guess speaking of, that kind of like gets into what I guess the next question is going to be. We already talked about how you used to play Peacock, Band, and Bella, and now you switched to Robo A-Train. You said you basically... made the switch to new team because you instantly fell in love with Robo. But tell us about like kind of your thoughts now about like how you feel the team is like doing. Do you think like this team feels really solid, really good for the meta? Like just tell us like give us your snapshot like shotgun thoughts on your team.
I think my team is busted.
It's busted.
It's straight busted. Like like tell us what things are like.
I think I think my team struggles against two things. Fortune with an assist that can completely ignore neutral in a lot of cases. I hate playing PME. I hated having to fight Fizz whenever I lost to him at Combo Breaker 2018. Like Beam and Brass with Fortune is a nightmare.
Yeah.
And I also really hate whenever I have to fight another zoner as a duo. So if it's like Robo duo, Peacock duo, I start to lose the damage for.
I just hate playing Robo into ratio. So like I feel you there, but like I feel like
I think Robo does really well against ratios for the most part. It's just like whenever she has to deal with somebody else's neutral and she's losing out of the damage war that Beams do, it's like now it's an issue.
So just the zoning ratio stuff is what you mean.
Duo Robo and Peacock is annoying. I think Robo does really well against Peacock most of the time, but whenever she's losing the damage, she can't keep up as well counter zoning the duo, then it becomes an issue. And the same thing with Robo duo versus Robo. It gets to a point where it's like it's just not even worth it to zone anymore.
So what do you feel about the Bella A-Train? Well, actually, I guess I don't want to. I'll let Selfie take that, right?
Sure, we'll go right into it. So yeah, why not? How do you feel about like Bella A-Train? Like you used to play Beat obviously, but it got boring. But when you run A-Train, I don't know if you run A-Train mostly because for like the head gain or just by coincidence. Like, do you feel like how do you feel about using A-Train on a character that's not like there for resource building?
I think it's really fun because obviously Bella already does quite a substantial amount of damage. But with A-Train, and she also builds so much meter, so with Bella, with all that extra damage and meter, it's just absurd. It's really cool. And I also, the only time, like I said earlier, the only time I hate playing A-Train is whenever I dynamo something. Because I only get a conversion on Beowulf and Big Band.
Yeah.
But it's also really cool because A-Train gives Bella resets that Beat Extend doesn't really. I screwed it up, but if you look back at Softy, you recorded the team tournament at Combo Breaker.
That was at 2018, right?
2019. Yeah, it was last
2019. Okay.
You could find this reset that you can't do with beat extend. It's Peacock specific. I did it against Domo or Rat Baby now. I've been around since 2015. It's hard to switch
it's
names.
understandable.
Where you battle butt them into A train, you battle butt again, and then you neutral jump medium punch, and that's a left right. Because either you duck and then walk back a little bit and it stays same side, or you just duck and it flies right over you.
I love those.
And like that, you can't do that with beat extend, And
yeah.
The same thing for Peacock. If you do a neutral jump light punch on the way down, like you'll appear on the left, and then all of a sudden she'll just like instant transmission to the right. It's like, how'd you get over there? It's cheap. There's just so much more interesting things that you can do with A train with Bella that you can with beat extend, to the point that like even whenever I go duo, I still play A train.
So it sounds like it gives you more damage and meter and stuff, right? And
it just gives me more to work with. Like beat extend is just DP assist with conversion.
So you don't mind like some people would say like, oh, you don't have like an obvious neutral thing, and I guess that's why you said the weakness of your team is. But do you think you miss having that kind of neutral thing? Because you play Robo standing heavy punch assist too. You don't play Robo laser assist. Do you miss having like a strong neutral assist?
I think lock and load does its job.
Okay.
I think lock and load's good enough.
I meant with the point Bella.
With point Bella. I know Bella. In my opinion, Bella doesn't have the neutral capabilities of something like Fuqua, Robo, Peacock. Characters that can control neutral and play neutral better. Parasol, but I think she keeps up fine enough. I don't think there's anything in the game Bella can't deal with.
Okay, so you're willing to take the little bit the neutral loss on the assist to get really big buffs with the damage and
I'm not like the neutral god or anything, but I think I can keep up well enough.
Yeah.
Neutral god, Bella
Neutral god.
Neutral
official
god.
title. Neutral god.
But I think I can keep up without it. So it's I'm fine with that.
No, that's very fair. Yeah.
Almost certainly, I definitely agree on the on that front, where I only really need one assist with my team, where I really need to have it to kind of help out neutral, whether it's slide or bomber. But me being able to run diamond drop as a resource assist and a damage assist without it having to participate too much in neutral doesn't feel like it hinders me a huge amount.
Yeah, that's it's kind of the sacrifice you have to do, but for some characters or some people, that's worth it. I kind of feel like I have to have some good neutral thing, but obviously some people can just make it work, So
I can't. All three of my assists are an incredible overlap in exactly what they do. I can't switch off of my forward moving attack button. I need rush punches.
That's very fair. I feel that.
Need it.
Okay, so let me ask you. I guess speaking of neutral god, shaky fingers. Let me ask you curse question time. So I kind of feel remiss about not we had a Robo player on before and didn't ask a Robo question, and now we have a new Robo player on. I want to make sure I get this on. How do you feel about Robo? Do you think Robo sucks? This is the curse question, but it's actually getting. I want to get your thoughts on Robo in general.
I have probably the most positive outlook on Robo in the entire community.
Okay.
I think Robo loses to Fortune, and that's the end of the list. I think everybody else she can keep up with. I think her defense is underrated, which is another reason why I love A-Train so much. I think heads are such good defensive options if you know how to wait out the gaps and all that they're cheap as heck. I don't care. I don't care that you're rushing me down with Philia and this stupid assist or whatever, lock and load. If I get a mine out, that's both of your characters. I think Robo is probably the best character in the game at forcing 3v1s. You can't really call assists against her. And that's power. That's really strong. You can call brass assists, but it doesn't really do much. It'll stop my assist. It's not going to stop Robo.
Yeah.
You can try try to call beam assist, I'm gonna snipe it.
Mhm.
You can call lock and load at mid range, and I have to deal with it. But what if I get away? What if I just backdash? If I jump away, like yeah, I can't beam it as well.
So you feel very confident that like Robo can just handle like most situations in general.
Yeah, I think basically anything in the game Robo can keep up with. The
Okay.
only issue as I said earlier, was fortune. Like Fortune's movement is just too much. And
Like-
You know,
and
Okay.
like right now, I don't really feel like I have a like understanding of how I'm supposed to deal with headless whenever I'm Robo, because then all of a sudden, that 6-frame gap to get out that ram or that mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda hard to
Headless
see.
Yeah, when Headless like has the decap stuff with hitting the head, that basically gets through any of the gaps that you would then.
welcome to everybody dealing with Headless Fortune.
I-
How do I get out? I want to go home, please.
I don't like that with any of the characters I play.
it's awful with everything. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna do my safe DHC, and they're like, ha ha, I buffered the head. You're dead, kid. And it's very sad.
So there is one common Robo complaint that I do want to kind of at least address. It's sort of obvious that your team kind of addresses a bit, but like a lot of people say Robo damage is quite low on her own. And this is do you feel like it's? How do you feel about Robo damage? I want to get your insight on that.
You do the right mid-screen route, you do about as much damage as Footwood does. You do 6.9k, just under 7k for a
Mhm.
bar. I think that's good enough.
Okay.
In the corner, you get over it. I think Robo damage is fine, especially considering just how many beams you can get out. Beams do just as much damage as bombs do. Beams do, for the amount of damage that beams do and the amount of chip that they do for how much I can put out, it's kind of crazy that they do just as much damage as bombs and Lugers and all that. The only projectile in the game that out damages beams are item drops, and item drops go on a cooldown. Like, of course, item drop is really strong for a
Isn't it
different
only
reason than
level
all
2
that.
and level 3 item drop that do
No,
more damage?
level
Yeah.
1 also does. Level
It's
1
very
also does
short,
more.
but yeah.
Dang.
But yeah, other than that, like beams do so much, and to the point that like if you're, doing everything right, that by the time that you get a hit, like that 6.9k that she can do mid screen's probably good enough.
Okay.
So I think her damage is fine enough.
So you hear the people calling for like buff Robo damage, and you're like, nah.
I think I think beams do too much damage to warrant her also doing a lot more damage whenever, she gets a hit. Maybe old Robo, which did a ton of
Mhm.
damage, and beams were like, what, 300 damage?
That and her zoning was not as good for several reasons.
Yeah,
I mean, she had like only one air beam, whereas now she has like
And that's
2
like
air
a-
She only
beams.
had one air beam, and beams had travel time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now that they don't, I think it's absurd.
Got that hit scan, quick scope.
Hit
Yeah.
scan. Hit scan beam.
Oh god.
Yo, check out my flicks. I'm mad good with Robo.
Like the fact
Okay.
that beams just hit that much, and there's only one thing in the whole game that can stop it. That's crazy. Beams are really good. Robo's really good. I don't think she needs damage at all.
I do want to get Softy's input on this too, because I know Softy's got Robo ideas, but for my input, I mostly agree. And another thing you didn't mention there that I do kind of like think is worth pointing out, but like Robo Laser Super, when it comes for like DHCing or just if you're point Robo and you get a happy birthday, Robo Laser Super does a lot of damage.
The highest level 1 damage in the game, if you're not
Like-
considering cat heads as a level 1 super.
Yeah, but like there's definitely like several supers in the game where like if you put the characters like a happy birthday, sometimes it's like less damage or it's weird, like Big B on level 3.
Cannon doesn't care.
But like yeah, Robo 3 like level 3 cannon does not care and does a lot of damage to both. It's crazy how like you can just watch them melt when you just do Robo laser DHC or just like do level 3 on a heavy birthday. Like I don't think a lot of people account for just like, man, those supers really do a lot of damage. So yeah, sounds fair.
Yeah, Robo's damage, I think the best way to describe it is backloaded, where a lot of people kind of don't value the backloaded damage as much as they do the front-loaded damage, where it's kind of
Mhm.
the opposite case with Beowulf, where his end of the combo damage is not very high because his supers are very scaled. So
Mhm.
to arm super at the end does like 500 damage. or Airwolf super at the end does like 400 or 500 damage, whereas Beam is like what, like 1.3k at the end of a combo,
I
right?
think it's higher.
Yeah, so I was like,
I'm checking right now.
Like
Yeah, I
at
thought it
full
was
scaling,
higher.
it's something ridiculous, like over 1,000, almost like 1,500.
It's pretty crazy.
I thought it was like 2,000, but
I think
2000.
if
I don't think
DHC
it's
into it. I think
I don't
I'm
think
guessing
If you
like
DHC,
I don't know.
yeah.
oh, if you DHC.
Yeah, I
If
think
you
at the end of
DHC,
a Robo
melting.
combo itself, it's like 1.5, 1.4. But that's my thoughts. Is that Robo does a lot of really, really good things in the game and doesn't really need to function like every other character, because people, I don't know, I feel like a lot of the talk is all about homogenization, and I don't really necessarily agree with that.
I definitely agree that like Robo as a zoner works differently than Peacock. Like she's still a zoner, and kind of like Peacock, like Argus does ridiculous damage, but so does Robo laser super. But I do like that like Robo does get really good damage from her super that like she kind of has to count on. Obviously Peacock damages more, but I always feel cozy with Robo damage and having to know like, okay, I've got time to cash out with my supers. So.
For sure. And I guess kind of to bring up the very end here, my personal question for you, the one I've kept secret from even my other hosts. I think it's kind of fairly common knowledge that in a lot of tournament settings you can get a bit nervous, where
A bit.
certain things will happen and it'll kind of throw you off your game plan. And I was wondering, throughout the course of your career, as you've gone to more tournaments, gone to more majors, met more people, and talked, how has that kind of affected your modern day outlook on the competitive scene? Because I have my own stories about that, so I was kind of curious, as someone who gets nervous in tournament, what your thoughts are.
It's still hard.
Yeah.
It's still really hard. Like it never gets easier. It's like how comedians who have been, in the business for years and years and years will still tell, like, you ask them, like, you've been in it for so long, you don't, like, I'm sure, like, it's just easy business now. Like, no, I still get nervous when I go out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just nothing that really changes, but I think it's just a part of it, If you're not getting nervous,
No, I could definitely understand that outlook, where I still get that feeling in the pit of your stomach, where when a tournament starts even and you see your round one bracket and you kind of look at your bracket and see how you have to go through.
Oh, yeah,
that feeling definitely still affects me. So
every time I see a freaking Toluta or an NCV or a Gelato on my side of the bracket, it's like, come on, I wanted that medal.
Like, do you think you prepare for that sort of thing differently now, or like do you have any strategies for dealing with like the stress or anxiety?
Yeah, I drink the night before.
Okay.
drink
That's
the night
about
away.
it. That's about it. I'll drink a little bit and then I wake up.
I mean, that's very
today,
fair.
Bracket hungover.
Hey, they call it liquid courage for a reason.
Oh yeah. But other than that, like, no, I kind of I just go in there. It's like, all right, Mark, I know it's, you want that medal, you love these games, you want to get that top 8, you want to win that tournament and all that. But I'm still nervous. There's nothing I've been able to do to stop it. Never changes, never gone away.
Understandable.
That's always what I hear, is that it never really goes away. So that's very fair.
It's like, I know you're really nervous, Mark, and all that, but just go in there and give it your all. You can do it. Proving to yourself that you can do it. You're the only person on the world that doesn't against.
And I think that's a mindset that I've kind of adopted, where I still get very nervous whenever I go into a tournament set, whether it be online or offline. But I think I've been happy with all of my recent performances because I've gone in and did my best, rather than letting the nervousness affect my actual play, which I think has definitely changed for me, at least. So just wanted to hear your thoughts on that, so I appreciate it. Moving on from the direct interview portion where we had our questions, now we're going to go on to Q&A and kind of go on to a couple of topics that we asked you all in the Q&A, and we'll talk about those separately from the actual Q&A. So We'll include yours as well, though, people, so do not worry about that. So let's start it off with questions for the Opinion Dash crew. The first one for us is our favorite level 1 object to fall from Peacock's item drop.
Mine is the fish. Obviously, that's like kind of what is on the screen for Tuna with Bacon. And ever since like kind of seeing that and pointing out to Gelato, like I just can't stop noticing in gameplay. So it used to be the sandbag, like the little bag that
Sandbag's
or
pretty
I assume it
good.
was a sandbag, but now it's the fish because I just think the fish is like I can't tell if it's alive or not. Like I think about this every time. So
I think mine's the teacup.
I hate to interject, but I think that the fish does have X's on its eyes.
Yeah, the
Oh,
fish
no.
and
I'm
eggs.
looking at it right now.
Oh, no.
At least while it's falling, it doesn't.
I'm alright with killing
Anyone
ants,
else?
but I'm not alright with killing fish.
Oh no, poor fishy.
The teacup has like the surprise Pikachu face on it. It's great.
Yeah, I love the teacup. Fenster, you don't have to kill the ants. You can cancel it. You can save them.
Yeah, but I can't do that in every combo. My bad.
You gotta save them, Fenster.
I can't. I want to see a Peacock combo route every Crash Communicate, but always like cancel to save it.
and
Save
percent
the ants.
and percent touch of death. Like
And percent touch of death. I'd be so down for that.
my
No.
favorite is the flower pot. I just like how the little flowers have like smiley faces on them. They're just plummeting from space. They're just so happy about it. It's like that whale from what's that movie or that book? The space one, whatever.
Dick.
Whatever. It's gonna take me too long to remember.
From space, what?
It's a movie. It's like a. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Someone
There's
will
like
understand what I mean.
there were whales in Star Trek 4.
If you know the space whale, hit us up in the
It's a
comments.
whale that's like falling from the sky, and it's like, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Let us know about the space whale in the comments. We'll shout you out in the next one.
There was
All right.
Okay.
Second question: why isn't everyone playing Fortune already? Why aren't you playing Fortune?
I kind of see this question. Or I felt like I saw this question a lot in like 2019. I feel like there was a lot of people who like would say Fortune is like top 5, and ironically, I feel like this has like kind of gone down recently. I haven't seen many people saying Fortune's like quite as good lately. So I think like maybe it's just that a lot of people aren't as into Fortune. But I think in general, the biggest thing is that everyone kind of sees that Fortune is like a hard character. Mostly that like I think a lot of people like look at like, okay, Headless is good, but man, what in the world? I'm supposed to like press the HP button and it's not a real button? Man, this is weird. And I think a lot of people get caught up on that. I mean, I play Fortune, so I think it's fine. But yeah, I don't know why everyone isn't playing Fortune. I think it's mostly like the intimidating difficulty of like having to learn 2 different characters. And for what it's worth, they really are 2 different characters. They do have similar supers and special moves, but the way their combo routing goes is completely different, and the way they like have to look out for resets or combos is just very different.
I would tend to agree. I think also that Fortune doesn't provide much for a team, and so a lot of people who don't particularly care to showcase Fortune are not playing Fortune on their team either, because it's like she doesn't help me to do anything with the characters I like also.
Yeah, you have to pretty much commit to like, okay, I want this point character, and I want this point character to be only a point character. She can't provide.
I want to play Fortune. You want to play Fortune. You want to be a Fortune player. You don't see many people that play Fortune, but you see a lot of Fortune players. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like as someone who's like making themselves learn Fortune because she's stupid, like she's very selfish. Like she doesn't. She's like an insane point. I think she's like insanely good, and I'm slowly learning it all. But like she's not that fun. I don't think like she's not fun to play neutral with. She just kind of like runs around. Some people like that. I don't. I need my like immediate satisfaction of shooting a fireball. But,
My dopamine hit as I hit the projectile button.
Yeah.
Have you gotten into headless stuff, Softy, or is it just head-on stuff?
Both on and off.
Okay.
I'm still working. I'm working on the.
I think headless is a lot of fun. Just being able to. Headless is fun for approaching like dashboard in neutral, and you can come from the air and then do the zoom button. You can stay at full screen and just nom people and watch them like fall into it. Like Headless got some tricks. I mean, just launching ahead and advance forward. Headless can do like several fun things, whereas head-on fortune kind of is just outmaneuvering, like just dashing in or coming in with like GLK in the air and stuff, like or fibering. Like that's headlong.
Yeah, I think it's just like Banan says, like she's really good, but she doesn't bring much beside her being good. So if you weren't already a fortune player, like I guess I slap her on point and I play my old shell behind her, and it's just really good, but it's not. It doesn't feel the same as like, oh, I'm gonna play my two favorite characters in double. You know, it's not as easy to do that as like that tournament. Words.
Whereas like you guys play double, right? And a lot of people say like, oh, double's a great character.
She's boring.
Obviously, you play her because she's top tier, but you also think like double is fun when you guys play her.
Oh
right?
yeah, double is fun. You should mix people the fuck up.
She's fun sometimes. I don't know. I gotten over it.
I think double is one of the most fun characters in the game because you finally give in to the true evil of the game and you realize, God, I have so much power behind this small little boy falling from the air. I love you, Avery.
My only point was that like there are certain like characters that people would see as top tier like double that are just kind of fun, and like Fortune's like not for like everyone, but like Fortune's kind of like you have to be a specific kind of person like want to go in like that and do stuff like that.
For sure. All right. So next question: how well do you think the SGC is coping with the lack of in-person tournaments like Combo Breaker? My personal thoughts are that I think we've definitely made up for it in online tournaments with payouts even. I participated in the Ronaldo Kun that had a huge pot bonus, a couple $100.
$200, yeah.
Yeah, and 50 actually also from Ronaldo himself pitching in as well. And just lots and lots of online tournaments that have had pretty good turnouts, like Salty Online, Ronaldo Kun starting back up again. The MP Gaming tournaments, Kumate's events, things like that. We've definitely, I think, made up for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like 2019 already had like a good amount of online tournaments that were being regular. I mean, I think besides like PSN having a lot of shaky stuff near the last half of the year, but like PSN is popping off now. A lot of the other online tournaments are like definitely popping off and like getting more numbers and doing stuff. So definitely, like, I would say, like, SGC is doing perfectly fine. You know, we're getting, like, Sage and Sonic, like, regularly streaming SG again. More SG streamers and just more things going on. Like, SG is doing perfectly fine. There are definitely some games that are, like, going by the wayside, and, like, that's kind of unfortunate. Like, I think Under Night has a bunch of players, but, like, people are not playing as much because of the online and delayed netcode. But thankfully, like, Skullgirls is keeping it real and keeping it strong, so, yeah.
Yeah, I think, I mean, as a whole, like, the FGC is doing pretty well with no in-person tournaments, but, like, I don't know, at this moment, I should be in Chicago, like, insanely shit-faced, yelling at resets on stream, so it's like, like, right now, I'm not coping too well, but overall, I think we're doing fine.
Yeah. There's definitely like a yeah.
Oh, true.
There's definitely like a big like missing element of like just going to like the local thing and meeting everybody, like, and everyone misses that, yeah. And that does suck, and it hurts Skullgirls just as well. So everyone's like sad about that. And online tournaments are cool. They're making up for definitely like the competition part, but they are not making up for like the community interaction part. So, you know, you still gotta like talk to your friends in Discord. You still gotta like hang out, and it's not the same as it was just like getting a drink with people like Combo Breaker and getting shit faced and all that. You know, so people are doing their best. It's not a complete replacement, but they're doing their best.
We're doing our best. Please. All right, and now moving on from questions for our crew and for some questions for you, Shaky. First question for you: what's your average FSPM, finger shakes per minute, to clarify? And how do nerves affect this number, preferably in multiplier form?
I don't think I would know the exact number, but if I would go to by like animal heartbeats, maybe like 200 frames a second. No. Usually it's just really light until I have to go to a tournament, and then like the Frosty 2018. I remember I played Mike in pools, and after done, he's like, "Wow, your fingers really do shake." It's like, yeah, it's like I'm in a freaking earthquake, right? Like nerves make my hands just go crazy, awful. And like, for a while, it actually affected my game. Like how I would the controller would
Shake.
in my hand.
Yeah, just clacking around.
Completely miss a button. Just like, how do you hit the between of the square and triangle on a PS2 pad? Yeah,
No.
Much more whenever I'm nervous. Not too bad.
It's a pretty big multiplier for the nervousness.
Much more significant. Yeah.
Okay. Second question. Is Robo A-Train actually good, and why wouldn't you play Beat Extend instead for an actual DP defensive desist? I think we had this explained a little bit earlier, but you could go ahead and do it again if you'd like.
To add on to that, I don't want my freaking big band dying because I called it Beat Extend and I got hit anyway.
Yeah.
It's definitely the worst feeling.
Yeah, I think that Roboheads do a good enough job. So no, I won't be going back to Beat Extend.
Yeah,
I remember somebody wanted me to. I'm not listening to you.
Yeah, fuck Beat Extend.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Beat Extend.
I do think that there's like some people who like think Beat Extend is very, very strong and maybe overpowered, and then there's some people who think Beat Extend is like it's good but not that good. And I think Shaky's on that level.
Yeah, I'm on the Beat Extend is overhyped as shit.
I'm kind of on that level too, but I'm also someone who's like played Beat Extend a lot, so like
I don't mind dealing with Beat Extend at all.
Yeah, I don't care about Beat Extend.
I remember I specifically going into max out, my first max out, which I won that one. I didn't win the second one. Since Full Bleed plays Beat Extend, I specifically labbed out how to deal with all of it. Now I think it's just not that bad. You can beat it on the way up and recover, like in time if you don't do it with a lot of stuff.
Yep.
It's also really good to deal with. It's also good to do that on zone point because you can light beat extend and recover if he does medium or heavy. So just bait all three.
Bait it all.
Same goes for the only DP assist I care about is L Bomber.
Yeah, L Bomber. L Bomber is a lockdown assist in the body of a DP assist and an anti-air.
Remember when Drill was fully invincible?
I wish I got to play.
DP assist shouldn't be lockdown assist.
Yeah.
And then L Bomber's here.
Yep. Classic. Another question for you. Third question. When's Melty? ?
I'm trying to think of which one would ask that. There's a few people that I play Melty with. I love Melty.
Melty's a fun game. Hell yeah, see my Alco. It's kind of an issue.
My really terrible work.
Everyone loves work.
Yeah, I love work. I just get to throw rings, scream.
Work's a good boy. Alright. Question number 4. Who are some of the members of PSN to look out for and try to get sets with? Who do you want to rep? Shout them out.
So Adibus, of course, he's gonna be there whenever it's there. So it's good to get sets in. Peemy's been playing Grand Blue more, but he's still really good whenever he does play. I would definitely try and get a set with him. Little dude, if he gets out to anything again, if you go to Salty and he's there, get a set with him. He's getting much better. He's really fun to play too. Especially if you play Robo Fortune because he calls Butcher's Blade a lot, so you just do super cannon DAC, just melt Eliza. That's the most enjoyable thing in the world.
Melt her.
Yeah, just disintegrate.
Burn her down to slag.
JC's been getting a lot better recently. He's the guy that you see me playing whenever in all those videos that I uploaded today of Squiggly robbing me.
Squiggly just taking the combo right out of your hand.
Yep.
in a way that she usually doesn't.
I know, yeah, exactly. In a way that's not normal for her.
But he's been getting a lot better. He really wants to play the game a lot more. So if he was supposed to be going to Combo Breaker this year, but unfortunately we don't get to go to Combo Breaker.
Yeah.
A lot of people it was going to be their first Combo Breaker. Omen was going to be able to go to Combo Breaker, and unfortunately, no. But get in sense with JC if you ever get to see him or see him in games. He wants to play the game. He wants to get a lot better. It's Tossel's PSN now.
Tossel.
He's been around
my
long
boy,
enough.
my Tossel.
He's been around.
I love that boy.
He's back on PC nowadays. So
Tossel, if you're watching, my McCree is still better. It was a
I haven't seen it, but I have to agree.
fluke, Tossel. A fluke.
But yeah, he's getting back into PC nowadays, so I'm sure he's going to be able to love to play against and play him. But I consider him PSN nowadays because he was with us long enough.
For sure. And that is the end of the questions for us and Shaky. Next up is going to be the ideas on Balance Patch and your thoughts on Skullgirls at Evo. But let's address each of those one by one for their thoughts, and then we'll go over our thoughts about it personally. So we'll save our ideas for the end of if that sounds good to everyone.
Sure.
Okay. So, gun to your head, SG Balance Patch idea. You only get one. Go. One response was, Fortune, stand heavy punch to light fiber, shouldn't whiff on only Bella. Why is it only Bella? Repeated.
That's a good
I'm
take.
not going. That is like baffling.
No,
like it actually legit does not make sense.
It's a good take. It should whip on everybody.
Yeah. They also supplement this with just quality of life changes to standardize combos on people, and I agree. I don't see why not. I mean, I don't play Fortune, so I don't see how big a deal it is, but it probably is, so that should be changed. The other one is give double squigglies forward dash. No, screw you.
I can't believe this. They really want to nerf double.
They really want to
I think
nerf double.
Parasol's forward dash is good enough for her. See how much movement that she get? Like,
Oh no, that's the point. I don't want squigglies forward dash.
No, guys, trust me. You guys.
You right.
You guys don't know Squiggly like I know Squiggly. That forward dash is OD. Okay. You don't even know.
To cross her up whenever she's running, and she's just as thin when she stands still.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? I'd be fine with that if double got Squiggly's hurt boxes for it. And it was
Oh god.
Make it just like a lingering hurt box on freaking Flesh Step.
Yeah.
just as freaking white.
All right. Third question: if delete Beowulf isn't an option, I'd say maybe just make H-Train Assist do a little less damage or scale slightly worse than it currently does. 100% agree. Everybody hates Beowulf, but I love how you mentioned Beowulf here and then mention A-Train in the next part, because people seem to think they're the same character.
Yeah, this is a very common discussion that I think me and Bananas talk about. To kind of expand on it, like, Beowulf, like, when he has, like, some assists, he can get damage, but in general, what a lot of people complain about his damage is just A-Train teams, where they're able to get, like, use up all their hype, go right into A-Train, get full hype, expend it again, and you still get to do combo afterwards, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it sucks that, like, Bayo's gonna get A-Train nerfed for everyone else. So...
No, Beowulf's gonna get hit. A-Train is gonna get Beowulf.
Oh, you're right. A-Train's gonna get buffed, and Beowulf's gonna get destroyed.
So this is maybe something that I can like ask Shaky right now, because so there's several characters in the game who use A-Train, not just like Bayo. So like Shaky uses Robo A-Train. There's like Eliza A-Train players like Havoc and Pleasure with Wind.
Sev also has a team that uses it.
Yeah, Sev plays that team sometimes. I'm blinking, but there's like I know some Peacock
M-Train.
Yeah, Squiggly. There's Squiggly A-Train players as well. There's
Tossel plays Valentine with M-Train.
Yeah.
Oh really? Okay. I haven't seen Tossel in a while, but wow, I've been.
Yeah,
that sounds so
like
weird.
PC.
Okay. I've seen Peacock with A-Train, and Peacock actually gets some like weird combo things that are pretty good with A-Train Assist. Like A-Train Assist is used for like several. Oh yeah, also Adivas uses Parasol A-Train, and that racks up damage very fast for her and gives her like nice streaks off that as well. So, like there's several characters who really do use A-Train and get benefits from it. do you think that's okay, Shaky? If like, yeah, get A-Train to scale more, because right now currently I believe it goes up to 55% scaling when you get A-Train on like Excelabella. Excelabella goes to minimum scaling once it hits. A-Train doesn't. So do you think that sounds like fair, or do you think that's like too harsh? What do you think, Shaky?
I think it could, like, if anything is going to be nerfed about it, I think it should be the scaling a little bit more. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely don't think that, like, I don't know if it's in the question or not, but God, I hope not. I don't think that resource characters should be locked out of their resource. After
Yeah,
game
please
begin.
don't.
It would
No.
suck.
Like, I think Beowulf needs his hype. I think, like, I know I have the most positive outlook on Robo Fortune, like I said earlier, but she needs her head. So much of what I do would be ruined if I couldn't use my resources, like the backwards mine stuff.
Yeah, no. I think that just, again, homogenizes the entire game, and just, I don't like that at all.
I agree. I don't like that solution because it hurts like Valentine and Beowulf, but like it really does hurt like Squiggly, Robo, like kind of too much. Like for those two characters really do like having to use their resources in their combos regularly, for just like normal combo routes and stuff. Whereas it feels like for Val and Bayo, it's just like, oh, I want more damage, or oh, I want to just like shit on my opponent character right now, make them not play the game. Cool. Hard knockdown or orange vial. Cool. Like Squiggly and Ro have to like do some different kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that I have made my point pretty abundantly clear, that I think a lot of people's primary issue with Beowulf is kind of attached at the hip to A-Train.
Yeah, I have not seen people complain about Beowulf outside the A-Train stuff. I mean, some people do complain about the character, but in general, it's usually just the damage. Why does he get all this with A-Train? That stuff.
Yeah. So the last one is nothing really needs to be changed, and I think that's a really good segue to talk about the balance patch between all of us here.
You want to start off?
I'm 100% with you. Yeah. Don't change anything. Leave the game alone. You said it was done years ago. Let's not mess with the good thing here.
The third final balance patch.
Now, do you say that because you're worried that the game will be worse?
I say that because I'm not worried that the game will be necessarily worse. I'm saying that as somebody who's been with this game for many years now, and I'm tired. I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an old man. I just want to be able to practice the things that were said to be the final things. The things that, you know, nothing else is going to change. My character's already gone through a huge dichotomy where it went from being basically to a brand new character. And I don't want to have to worry about having to learn a whole new character again if that changes again, where people are like, actually, we didn't like this, so we're going to make Beowulf more like the old Beowulf again, and make him less hyper-reliant rather than make him more hyper-reliant, which is what everybody wanted the first time, and it's just a giant mess. I'd rather not deal with it at all. I think the game's in a really good balanced state as it is, and if it ain't broke, I don't think you need to fix it.
I do want to like mention one counterpoint. I mean, in general, I think like Mike doesn't go back on like his revisions. Like Ellis has had some changes. Fugwa had her revision, and Peacock had her revisions about like how item drop worked.
Setback.
Like I guess like it's not just like Peacock. Like several characters between like vanilla SDE to MDE had like a bunch of revisions, and most of the characters now kind of look like how they did from MDE onwards. But like, or I mean, some characters got things along the way, like Val got bypass routes, but usually like characters felt pretty similar. So I don't think like Mike ever went back on a change. Like, oh, actually, let's give Peacock back her like L bang and M bang and switch those up, or you know, give her back like her whack ass L teleport where it was like the punching move, you know. It was like in the beta of it. In general, like once Mike decides on like something, like he tries to like work around it. I think so. I don't think that he's gonna like switch Beowulf too hard. Like it always sounds like he says his approach will be like, we just want to make the game a little bit more interactive and not like append anything. So at least that's what it sounds like. I mean, granted, he is saying some big changes with like the resource character bit, but in general, I do trust Mike. That's what I'd say to you on that point. I don't think he's gonna change Beowulf wholesale. So
which is kind of my worry because I'm also afraid that he'll just make him like slightly worse, and I don't think he needs to be nerfed. But
okay, that's sort of a separate point, but that gets into
Yeah.
more like gets into tier discussion and all that, which is not really our focus here.
exactly. What about you, Shaky? What are your thoughts on patch?
I was excited for the game to be done.
I know, right? Me too. I was
ready.
so excited.
I was ready for everything to be done, and now that it's coming up again, like if anything's gonna be changed, I just want small changes that I think would be for the better, like fix certain like weird issues, like every now and then, like whenever I'm later. How do I explain this? Because this is such a difficult. There are situations where I'll get ahead and then do stand heavy kick, and the stand heavy kick is tracked from the head.
Yes,
So it causes
I know exactly what you
DPS. I think that shouldn't be. I think that's in my opinion, that's a bug to me.
It's the same.
Oh
bug.
yeah, it's a bug.
Yeah, it's the same bug that makes like
So-
the heads be tracked by the stage or summoned in, like the missiles doing crazy amounts in Dizzy. Yeah.
Yep.
And so I feel like something like that should be changed. I feel like just little quality of life things, like Pain will get in a bigger snap. She got a bigger snap. That's good.
That's so good.
I think Feral Edge could be it could be tweaked a little bit so they don't fall out on hit. The only major change that I would really want, like if anything's gonna be changed, all I want is the head to not screw everything up. Whenever I'm doing it, I play BOA train for fun every now and then. Why did my Grendel killer not pick up because I hit the head?
I mean, also it's a problem for Bella with like Dynamo, right?
Or
Why
why did my crouching medium kick hit the head and not pick you up from OTG?
Yeah, why can I Dynamo and have her fall out? Why can I SSJ and have her fall out? Why can't I SSJ her whenever the head is behind me, and then giant step SSJ again? The head's in the way, like stuff like that.
Or why can't I car this direction? I have to car from the other direction.
Yeah, like why can't you car there? Like I would like if the head didn't cause hit stop. It wouldn't fix me being able to do SSJ giant step SSJ, but it would fix Dynamo. Fix SSJ.
It fixed car. It fixed a lot of things.
It fixed car. It fixed Bella or BOA train routes. But other than maybe something that wouldn't really screw up everything a whole lot. Like I don't think Bella's level 3 should keep the meter if you throw her out of it.
Yeah.
Things like that. But other than that, I think there's nothing in this game that's too unmanageable. There's nothing like Super Turbo Dolphin versus Guile that's so bad that it's nearly unwinnable. I think everything's manageable enough as it is. I think the game's in a really good spot, and I really don't want anything else to shake it up again. I just want us to be able to keep on trucking with where we are. I think the game's fun.
Awesome. Softy, do you have any thoughts on patch stuff?
I mean, I would prefer just small quality life buffs or whatever. I don't know. I don't think anyone's absurd. I really don't want to have to I'm finally at a spot where I feel like I have my trio that I love and the duo that I can play when I don't want to play Painwheel. That's all I really need, right? So I don't feel like I need to character crisis anymore. But if Hatred Install and Cat Heads become 2 bars, I'll have to change all of my damage routes and my entire team order, and that's gonna put me in a 4-month panic of trying to figure out what I want to do. I don't want to have to relearn things.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing too. Is the whole meta will be shaken up, and everybody's gonna have to pick new characters. I'll be playing Bayo Squiggly Drop instead. It'll be a mess.
It's
no, it's okay. Squiggly's fine. Don't worry.
I just don't. I put 2 years into this team. I don't really want to learn more things. I don't want to be forced to learn more things. I just say I don't mind exploring stuff. It's fun, but I don't want to have to change things.
I don't
want
to have to completely change around my team idea, which is why I'm staunchly anti-patch. I'm an anti-patcher.
Honestly, I'm not afraid. If it happens, I'm not afraid of making the game really bad or anything, or screwing up the meta. I'm more afraid of there's possibilities that a change can make me stop enjoying a character.
Yeah.
And stop. I don't want if anything happens to Robo A Train that I stop enjoying it. That's gonna break my heart.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start playing double again. I don't want to play double.
That's
again.
exactly my thought. I like double, and I like Squiggly too, but I don't want to have to drop double for Squiggly. I want to play them both on the same team, and it's just sad. So,
Oh,
that's kind of.
I do have a gun to your head balance pouch change though. I want.
Okay.
There's a lot of good things you could do, but my selfish pick is I want Fuku attack to hit like 3 frames faster, so I could do double to Fuku attack combos mid screen. That's the only thing I really want. I can't do it mid screen without spending a bar for puddle, but that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly 3 frames, Mike.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's off by 1 frame, so I figured 3 frames is like good enough.
Is it actually
The setup I found, it misses by like 1 frame, or the pick
Wow.
it can be a little bit wider, like
universally?
at least on it was on the Twins and on Parasol, it was like really close to hitting. So if the hitbox was wider, it'd be fine as well.
All right. Okay, so I guess I'll get last piece on this. So for the overall concept about the game getting patched again, I'll say at the start that like I am pro patch. I think it's fine. I'll kind of give like 2 kind of expert reasons behind this. So it's funny that Shaky actually brought up ST because this is actually going to be my go-to example for why. But I'm someone who like started with ST and I still like watch it, play it sometimes. Not as much anymore, but I still like love ST. Still like up there for like my favorite fighting game, up there with SG. But what's always so frustrating is that there's so much jank and so much like incorrect stuff in ST that just feels like it should not be there. Like when I think about like T-Hawk crouching strong, or like just how tough the reversals are, which is kind of unfair when you have like Claw. Just like some characters just being like little too like lopsided in like their game plan, like why does like Bison and like E Honda or O Honda like have like no defensive options, like really like it's kind of weird. Or like why like half the original characters, like some of them are good and some are just like completely like why would you ever play them at all? That kind of stuff just feels kind of lame, and it's always like if there was like one last like attempt to like really balance it well, like it'd be okay. Now, granted, this is coming from someone who like I don't hate HDR remix, and I don't think some of the ideas in even the Switch Super Turbo like read on like what was it like Ultra Street Fighter 2,
Something like that.
Like it had a lot of whack stuff in it actually. Don't even touch Violent Ken, like he sucked. Like it's absurd what they did with him. But like in general, like I actually liked some of the ideas that they had for trying to like it was clear that they actually tried to balance some of the dumb things in ST with that game, and I thought like, oh, that was actually a cute idea. It's like clearly they want to like address some of the like meta problems. Like I think it frustrates me knowing that there's like a community that like in general like doesn't really accept like some of the new versions that feel weird for ST, and so like I always kind of want like some last like I wish that there's some way we could just fix ST, fix these small problems, but have everyone feel okay and just understand, fix the minor details. That's kind of the way I see Mike Z approaching SG. Is that like he's gonna address these small fixes, not gonna change anything too badly. Everyone will mostly play the same. A couple things will get changed for sure, but like in general, like the characters will still be good, they'll still be playable. And if anything, usually what happens is like it's more balanced. You're able to play more characters, and they'll be more viable, or more different kind of strategies will be around. Like that kind of stuff is just fun to do and like have around in SG. So like that's what I'm at least after each of Mike's successive patches. So that's why I feel confident that like I want this extra chance of like giving SG like to fix some of the small issues and maybe find some like new stuff that like we didn't even know that like we needed, like Parasol getting the drag down on standing heavy punch. That was something like I thought was like too crazy that like Mike would like never do, and then he just like did it, and now suddenly everyone loves playing Parasol, and she's like, way easier to play, and it's so nice, it's so cozy. That's the kind of thing that like a lot of characters like maybe can get stuff like that, and it'll just be like more naturally fun to like play these characters and do stuff like that. That's the kind of thing that's always nice about the balance patches, and that's why I think Mike Z will do SG fine with like working on a new patch here. The other point I actually kind of want to bring up that's maybe it's kind of weird to think about in these COVID times, but it's basically the idea of like a new updated game. So like we know about like Uniclear and like Unis, right? When we had like Unio, that game came out in America, a bunch of people like played it, but like wasn't huge. Then Unis came out, and now a lot of people played it, and it like got bigger, got into Evo. And then Uniclear came out, and like a lot of people were like hype and like trying to get into the game to like get into it. Like Uni had this growing scene, and people were excited about because it felt like it was alive with the current update. SG was like, there were like legit people who were like, yeah, SG is a dead game, and there's always going to be like complaints like that, and there's ultimately like nothing we can do about that. Like some people can be fine with like a old game, and that's what we usually live with. But at the same time, like I think it's always nice to like just like it's nice to like have a last breath of life in the game to like just get some people hope and get some people interested in it. And with each successive pass of a game like getting updated, there's usually new players that come in and come by. So I'm fine. Like I think it's worthwhile to like give SG a last breath of life in terms of a new update, just for like maybe expanding the scene a bit. Will this be the actual last update forever? Who knows? I kind of at this point maybe doubt it, because I feel like this is like, you know, the last patch for like the third time for Mike Z, you know. But who knows? Maybe we'll get updated after that. We'll see with the future holds. But for now, let's just assume that this is the last one and do the best we can for now. So.
Okay. I heard
also,
entire dissertation that Vince
Okay, I also forgot I have one quick gun in my head suggestion idea. I guess I have a lot of them, but this is the one I think will be the most funny to me. Or the one I kind of like, it's the one I just thought of like randomly. So I was watching Gundam Unicorn, and Gundam Unicorn, I love that. Love those OVA series a lot. And just the sound of the beam gun it has is so cool. And I just had this thought like, man, what if Robo in Det mode, like the laser like just sounded cooler? That's just that's the only thing I want. I just keep Det mode the same, whatever, I don't care. But like when I go into Det mode, I want to feel cool. I want to feel like these hard knockdown beams like matter. I want it to just be like, boom, you know, I don't know, like.
All right, but that's not a balance idea. Plus, we already have the Spartan laser, which already makes the beams.
I mean, it's a balance idea in that like it'll feel. I don't know. I think feeling cool. It's kind of like, you know, when Mike C did the Devil Horns. Always get the guitar riff.
Yeah.
Buff. That was definitely a gameplay balance buff for Bella.
the mental guard bonus.
Yeah. That's the way I feel about
Bella ever got.
Yeah. I feel the same way about Robo Laser and
Shaky, what are your thoughts on Master Chief Robo, by the way?
I've never played a Halo game in my life.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
I never had.
I mean, you are a PlayStation boy. I forget.
Yeah, PlayStation. I played it like Nintendo consoles.
Just to put it out there, I absolutely love the Master Chief palette for Robo.
I think it was by far the best new palette added, but
yeah, it's really really good.
I really like the Gundam one that she got.
The Gundam one also is pretty.
And the Diva, I'm really happy about the Diva one because that makes me make my stupid pun team with the 3 robot games.
All right, so that was SG Balance. Listening to Fenster's dissertation has not changed my opinion. Leave the game alone. Leave it.
Hold that.
Stay away. Do not hit that like button.
No.
Do not subscribe.
Mike Z is coming for you.
Do not comment. In fact, stay the fuck away from the like button. To reference ProZD, by the way, check him out on YouTube. But next topic, and gonna be the final topic of the night. How do you guys feel about Skullgirls at EVO Online? We'll go through the people's response, then get ours. One of them is go see my larger tweet. It's only beneficial in the way we could use it to increase the size of the community. Otherwise, fuck EVO. In reference to that tweet, it is Ravioli's tweet. If you want to go check that out on Twitter.
I remember that one.
This one from Anonymous. Wiz will not have it at real EVO anyway, so who really gives a duck? But good exposure to growth the scene. Another one. I'm hyped. Can't wait to tune in to it and get drowned in pools. And another one. Don't have anything to say about it. So, I feel like we got kind of a set number of responses there, but I also want to throw in my own personal vote because I got to go to any extreme on all of my opinions, which is fuck EVO and everything about it. I I won't personally blame you if you do attend. I don't think that we should want to or even like to attend, but if you feel like you need to go for whatever reason or you are contractually obligated to go, then I won't hold it against you. But again, I don't think it's something SG wants or needs.
Yeah, no, that's well said. Basically, for people who may not know, or I mean, I assume most people know, but in general, EVO's not really been a good event for kind of several years. It's had a long-standing legacy of being the primary thing in the FGC that people should care about. But as an event itself that's being ran, it's had lots of issues over the years, both in terms of just how it's run as an actual event, but also just like overall larger decisions. The reasons why some games get into EVO or not, or kind of the primary reason for me and why I do not support EVO is the infiltration drama. So I assume some people know, but in general, just to give the quick synopsis, there was a very notable case of infiltration who got married, lived with his wife for I think a year, but then there was a domestic abuse case with his wife, and there's a lot of weird. It's going to be difficult to find accurate information about it, but in general, they went over the courts with it, and infiltration was banned from the CPT for a year. He wasn't banned specifically from I think any events, but he was just banned from the CPT, so he didn't attend any of the events for whatever year it was. I think 2018, and then in 2019, if I have this right, that's when he actually came back, and he came back to EVO, and a lot of people were calling for him to still be banned because it was only a 1-year ban. There was still a lot of drama about he should be at least not be in the FGC for a couple of years, maybe banned for life. It was still undecided. A lot of people still heard about him trying to get back to the FGC. And while I don't know anything about the punishment, about how long he should stay out from EVO or from any FGC events, there was a particularly damning thing that EVO did, which was infiltration entered Samurai Showdown, and he won. He won that event at EVO, and for their congratulatory tweet that they do for I think any event at any of their games, they said in the headline, with his triumphant return, infiltration wins Samurai Showdown, something like that. Very specifically with his triumphant return. That tweet pretty much gave the game away about how much EVO did not care at all about the overall larger feelings about the people who were very concerned about the image of the FGC, about supporting women when we have these cases of domestic abuse, and should we believe women or not, this kind of tricky stuff. EVO did not seem to care at all about it, and just flagrantly put out there yeah, he's back, and aren't you all happy about it? It was the most tone deaf thing I've ever seen from the FGC. It was pretty. I'm kind of left speechless sometimes, but at the very least, I just knew that I never wanted to associate with an event like that ever again, personally. I stand with Bananas in that if there are some people with that stance, I want to say that there are people who do probably have to go to EVO, esports people pretty much are contractually obligated to just go to a certain amount of events. For example, SonicFox and Sage, I wouldn't be surprised if they did go, or if they were being pushed to go. So I wouldn't hold against them when esports is their thing. Certain amount of commentators who have to represent the scene and represent us and the information and the community involvement. That's also very important in just the face of our community kind of level as well. So some of the other people or event organizers or commentators, I understand when they have to tweet out and push for EVO in their own way, even though some of them probably generally also think this whole situation is shitty. I think all these people who are going to EVO understand this situation is shitty. So I won't look down on some of these people, but at least I don't want to say I'm not going to look down on anyone who enters EVO, but if you can, please don't enter just because this is an event that has never really supported us, and I would say just doesn't respect much for the FGC in general. It respects like what the values that we really believe in. And it's always like really frustrating to see that people just kind of like forego that. I just get really sad. That's all I can say. I will be saddened by people who do like enter Evo. I understand when people say like this is SG's like chance at greater viewership, getting more people into it. I understand that. If there are people who are entering Evo and then want to get into the community at large, please do. I would suggest you go to any of our other events or any of our other tournaments, online tournaments. I would always say to people, go to CB or go to Otaku. But I really just cannot support, and I really wish that people would not really. I wish Evo really like. I don't want to say like I wish it didn't have SG, but I wish we weren't in this position, and I would just be really sad about this whole thing. And if possible, please, if possible, just like. I don't know. It's hard to ask for anything in particular, but please at least just know that this situation sucks. And I don't know. I don't know, but at least that's my piece. So.
Yeah, for sure. Shaky, Softy, do you have any thoughts?
I'm basically in the same boat of where I'm not very happy about Evo. To look back to like something that happened with Skullgirls Evo 2014, the year that Sage won. Mm-hmm. We were supposed to get a top 16 on stream. Mm-hmm. That turned into a top 4.
Yeah.
Why did that turn into a top 4? There was a Tekken exhibition going on, not a tournament. It wasn't that important. It was an exhibition. And they were told multiple times, like, okay, after this certain amount of time, Skullgirls is coming up. It's the tournament, But they kept going, cutting into our time, and nobody did anything about it.
Yeah.
And it kind of stings getting shafted like that.
It does.
So like the way that it's being ran sometimes, like how did this happen?
The overall thing about Evo for me is that I don't think we should actively not support SG at Evo for the reasons that it was shafted before. I think Mike definitely made a couple of good points in his tweet about it. But I think that in regards to taking a stand for the morality of the community, in that we shouldn't go out and support events that, welcome abusers back with open arms, that we should take a stand and not, if something is morally wrong, you shouldn't go and support it. Even if it doesn't do anything in the end, you also aren't obligated to go and support that event.
And at the same time, I'm still also a little bit conflicted about it because, now that we're getting this, a little bit more attention, more people are watching it, like we're, if we don't show up to Evo, there's a possibility it would show that, like, tell certain people, like, oh, maybe they don't care.
Well,
could look a little bit bad. Like, I don't know how. That might be just being the most paranoid person on the planet, like I usually am.
I'll say this, and to kind of like expand on my stuff earlier. Like, for those people, if they were wondering where the SG players are, that's where we say with confidence that we don't support an event like Evo. We don't support these events that like treat like the morality and treat these values like garbage and throw them to the side for the sake of money or like stardom or viewership, whatever it is that Evo cares about, prestige. Evo's willing to sacrifice that stuff, but for some of us that matters, and we care about like upholding our own values. And so at least that's what I would say. If those people like wonder where we are, that's where we say with confidence that like SG players didn't want to support Evo because this infiltration drama that Evo is just like that tweet is still up there, and they have made it make a difference if maybe like Evo try to like make up for it in some way, but they really don't. They really haven't.
Oh yeah, there's no donation to like, a charity or anything. Not even a sign of remorse, a tweet about it, nothing. They're sticking to their guns on it.
Like if you remember like Evo Japan, where they had the Dead or Alive like demonstration, and it was like full of like those like models and stuff. It's kind of clear that like it just feels like EVO doesn't care about women.
I mean, Evo doesn't care about anything but money. I'm gonna be perfectly candid on that. Every single year, 1 or 2 games in the Evo lineup are games that have not even been released. We don't even know if they're gonna be fighting games when they come out. Like for some of these games, like the developer's gonna pull the fucking hoodwink on us, and it could be a kart racing game, and it's gonna be at Evo.
I mean, Mario Kart was at an Evo.
Yeah, it's like it's ridiculous the lengths that Evo will go to just to shill money in their pockets. But again, that also is a moral issue, but also a business issue, which people can understand. But the Evo thing with infiltration is just unforgivable. It's really not.
It's something that they should really address, is what I should say. So that tweet should probably be taken down. It's kind of remarkable that it's not taken down. But
Wiz doesn't care.
Yeah, no, he doesn't care. He's got money in his pocket. But those are the overall thoughts on Evo, I'd say, from us. So on that note, I think that's about all we have for today. So we're going to start wrapping it up. But before we do, any final questions, thoughts, or concerns?
Last concern, you were wondering what the damage of Robo Super at full scaling was? It's 1600.
1650, according to
was
Wiki.
so much.
That's at 1.0, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
full scale.
That's so much, dude. This character does no damage, though.
That is, yeah, this character does no damage, by
No
the way.
damage, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
Only a couple 100 points under, like, Fuku.
It's literally like the strongest one other than, like, that's not Cat Heads or
Insult
Haunted
Banewheel.
SSJ. Or, like,
Yep.
Banewheel Paper Insult. Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, that's a good bit of knowledge for all you complain robos out there. God, it's not as catchy as like Complain Wheel.
I love Complain
Robo
Robo
planers.
sucks.
I know Painwheel players are probably sick of it, but like I still giggle about Complain Wheel.
It's good.
Complain Wheel's so good. I mean,
Like-
our show is based on a Pain Wheel pun, so.
Yeah.
If there's anything you can use to have fun with Robo's name is I call instant double jumps Robo overheads.
Robo
So you can start
overhead.
doing
Rope overheads?
That's awful.
Yeah,
like
like Robo overhead.
I like that.
So it's
That's
not
a
like
pretty
Complain
good
Wheel, but it's fun. It's also a little bit more positive than Complain Wheel.
All
So
right.
anytime you see me in tournament, I do instant overheads. Like you can call it a
Oh,
Robo
nice
overhead.
Robo
on
Rope
character.
overhead.
Nice Robo
Yeah.
Robo
overhead.
overhead.
I like it.
He and Liam's got those Robo overheads.
I'll pass like a sticky note to the commentator desk when you're on streams. Like, hey, make sure you say the Robo overhead. Come on.
Yeah.
We need more positive memes in this.
More positive memes in this trying times. Exactly. So, thank you again for being on the show, Shaky. So we're going to offer you this final chance to shout out whatever you want to shout out. Your Twitter, YouTube, PSN, throw out whatever you want to do.
I would not shout out my Twitter. If you want to come, my Twitter is Shaky Fingers, misspelled, SHAKEY Fingers. I post a lot of fighting game stuff. I try to make jokes, but they're usually not funny. I think they're funny, but nobody laughs.
That's what Twitter's for.
I mean, there's only so much laughing you can do on Twitter anyway. Like, like you hit a like button. Does that mean it's
Yeah,
a laugh?
I mean, I'm funny, but nobody knows.
Yeah.
Whose channel is it on? I think it's on Osu's channel, which is Warui Neko Dake.
Oh yeah. The Twitch channel for streaming PSN stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's where if you want to come every other Saturday. There's one coming up. Actually, let me look at the time.
We'll be
the 30
throwing down in the description as well.
It's usually like Saturday at 8 p.m. EST, I think.
Yes. Yeah, 8 p.m. EST. The next one will be on the 31st. It's on Sundays.
Mhm.
So that one's coming up. The
Alright.
channel was Warui Neko Dake.
Yep. Usually
Osu
the info
streams
is
it.
posted in
the description. Yep.
Yeah.
Down
Well,
below.
I mean in main cord.
That also, yeah.
Yes.
So, that's about it. Like, come watch us play. PSN's pretty okay.
It's very fun to watch the streams. So.
They do a good job. And thank you for being on the show, Shaky. We appreciate you stopping by and taking some time to do an interview with us. That was fun. So,
it was very fun.
sadly, we don't have all the time in the world, and we're going to have to sign off. So, adios to everybody, and I'll see you all next stream.